114 and improved to 2-0 in this series for the first time since 1984. We went to this playoff format. Both the top seeds in the same conference are down 2-0 in the second round. Chris Miles here with Isiah Thomas and Kevin McHale. Some questionable calls down the stretch, to say the least. Kevin, what do you make of them?
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a crazy turnover by Butler, but there was a timeout. A lot of stuff could happen. They turned it over. The Dragic foul, I thought Gordon was in a pretty good position. And then, man, I'll tell you what, you're gonna see.
Giannis.
I think this is the end of this. But yes, this is the end of it. Where they get it inbounded here to Butler, and then Jimmy should just call the timeout. He tries to get it back over. There's two guys there. He sees one of them, and nice play by Lopez, and they score, and all of a sudden, hey, it's a game.
And good defense, good trap here by Milwaukee, and then, Isiah, it seems as if with 19 seconds to go, down by 6, they were out of it, but Milwaukee fought tough in pressuring full court. I'm surprised Miami didn't call a timeout here.
Well, this is what, Miami is a young team emerging on its way, and it's learning how to win in these pressure situations. And I thought here, this was another opportunity for Milwaukee. They missed a chance to get the steal there, but they end up fouling. But again, Miami is a young, emerging team. They're learning how to win in the playoffs. And not only are they learning how to win in the playoffs, but they're also learning how the officials will officiate the end of game calls. As we see Dragic, I thought this was a questionable call. But the one thing I like, Mac, and you can jump in on this, is that I thought the referees were consistent at the end of the game in terms of calling fouls on both teams. As we see Butler gets fouled here on a call that normally when the ball is released from your hand, the referee doesn't make that call.
But
again,
Isiah,
I thought they were consistent.
On a fadeaway on the baseline, doesn't seem to be a lot of contact there.
It doesn't seem to be a lot of contact, but at the same time, again, I thought it was consistent. I thought he called it for Miami, and I thought he called it for Milwaukee. And what we want from officials as players at the end of the game, we want consistency more than anything. And I felt the officials were consistent tonight.
Kevin, with that look.
They just called that you have to have freedom to come down. And they're calling all of this stuff. And boy, Jimmy got that one to crawl on the rim and go in. But they're calling all that, space to come down. And, nobody. And I tell you what, I thought they were both really iffy calls. I really did. I thought the Dragic one was iffy, and I thought that the foul that won the game for Miami was pretty iffy on Antetokounmpo. Myself personally, I know what Isiah is saying. Myself personally, I like to let the players decide the game, and right then this is going to be talked about a lot with the officials and all the whistles at the end of the game. But to Isaiah's point, which I do agree. They did call all this not landing, not bothering the shooter once the ball is released, giving him a clean field all around, all game long. And they did it at the end of the game, too.
Well, you see the leaders for the game. Jimmy Butler, who had a playoff career-high 40 in Game 1, not listed there. He had 13 points on just 8 shots. Here's Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic.
I'm going to start with you. When this man next to you is headed to the line with essentially no time left, what is going through your mind?
Please, Jimmy, make the shot. But no, we got full confidence in Jimmy. You can see end of the game, we're gonna give him the ball. He's gonna make something good for us, and he's a star in this league. So.
And Jimmy, you were the facilitator for a lot of the fourth quarter. You said you trust these guys, but the moment came down to you. The Bucks are lining up behind the basket. What was it like as you stepped up to the line?
I knew I was going to make 1 out of 2, and that's all that we needed. But it's like I always say, we got so many guys that can hoop, that can play, that can impact winning. And I think all the way down the line, our guys did that.
And Jimmy, you're up 2-0 on the number 1 seed in the East. The Celtics are up 2-0 on the number 2 seed in the East. What is it about underdogs, at least seeding-wise, in this bubble and their success?
I don't know. I just think guys have been playing their best version of basketball here. We love it. We love being the underdog. We think that we can win any game, any series. And with this group of guys that we have, it's very possible.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Congratulations. Appreciate it.
You know, that's an interesting thought as far as the underdog conference, because when you just look at the Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, what they bring to the table, Toronto Raptors and Milwaukee Bucks, there doesn't seem to be this huge separation in talent and ability for those four teams in the East, Isaiah.
No, there's not a huge separation in terms of talent. But when you're talking about being an underdog, what an underdog normally faces is road pressure from an opposing crowd that doesn't give them the comfort to play as freely as they're playing in the bubble. So everyone, everyone is equal in the bubble because you've eliminated the noise factor, the crowd factor that really plays on the players' emotions and takes them out of sync. And, you know, Kevin, you can speak. I know how tough our Detroit crowd was. And I know how tough it was to win in the Boston Garden with their crowd and their good players also. So eliminating the crowd definitely makes, everyone equal in the bubble.
Yeah, and one quick thing to add to that, Z. They had the play-in series of the 8 games, but you're basing this home court on last March 11th. It's September right now. That's a long time ago, and that's when all these teams really the season stopped. Your record was what it was. You come into the bubble, you play 8 games, and now you're starting to play playoff games. And not having the crowd there, as Zeke said, is a huge thing. I know for us, we walked out on that Boston Garden floor, and we were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference many times, and we felt unbelievably confident that we were going to get those 2 games at home and get to work, go to work on them at their place. But without that crowd and with a whole totally different environment, there's no travel, there's nothing else. It has really equalized this thing. And there is no such thing as home court advantage, of course, because there's no fans. But just the seeding has all kind of been thrown out. You can throw most of that stuff out. Who's playing really well right now? That's all that matters. And right now, Miami is playing some good basketball. 7 guys in double figures, everybody contributing. I don't care who's supposed to throws in the game. They contribute in a positive fashion for this team. Unbelievably impressive win by the Heat.
Kevin, when you mention those 7 guys in double figures, 5 of those guys hit 3 or more three-pointers, and you see the stat there right in front of you. Goran Dragic leading them with 23 points. He scored 20 or more in every single postseason game. That's 6 in a row. And it's historic for the Miami Heat as far as they've never seen this before in team history. So Isaiah, to see that balanced attack, it's 7 Miami Heat plays. I keep saying 6 when it's actually 7. When you